Video94. November 7, 2012. Mythi. We have information theoretically from NASA that a large asteroid the size of Texas is coming directly toward us between this month and next. They ironically gave him the name of Nibiru. It proceeds. One of planetoids orbiting the system Nibiru, orbiting farther away, has small moons orbiting it. And one of them will pass very close to Earth, so much close. The planetoids will be easy to observe enlightened by your sun. But the dwarf star in the center will be a dark spot most of the time for issuing protons and partially block the sunlight spectrum. Crowley's shuttles will be monitoring the system to prevent a catastrophe of proportions of mass extinction and to protect your moon. Your governments know perfectly everything that is happening, and will use this information to manipulate the masses. By the end of the implementation of preset agendas, the navies of 3 of your governments settled large quantities like hundreds of tons of conventional explosives, not atomic, in some kind of large metallic cylinders, at a venue of your Pacific Ocean. Perhaps they are planning a false impact of asteroid to meet the original schedule. The Community Galactica has not yet manifested on the subject of direct intervention, therefore. Thy ruling elites may be trying to advance the final steps of the agenda. All these operations were accompanied by the Arcturian and reports have been passed to the Council. The solar emissions were released by Crowleyans under the command of CG, and large emissions may happen in response to gravitational imbalance, caused by Nibiru's system in close pass to Earth. The geomagnetic field of the planet is very weak, and will be of little protection during the passage of galactic hemisphere that is ongoing and, along with the changes in the magnetic field, you will have a drastic decrease in the radiation belt you call Van Allen. This force field will decrease gradually to dissipate completely in direct proportion to the change in frequency of the planet for level 1. Your governments have this information and are monitoring the dissipation of the force field, with the probe's twins who launched months ago for this purpose. The main purpose of the energy belt was to let nothing would leave the planet, but also kept a barrier to certain cosmic energies and certain wavelengths. With this dissipation, the climate will undergo changes that are necessary to balance the new reality of the planet. You will witness changes in the atmosphere, climate and sometimes the colors of your sky. The atmospheric layers will adjust and lots of vapor condensation will occur in the higher layers to balance the lack of radiation belt. The nature will self-adjust to this new reality and sustain life on the planet. In these next few years, the Earth will no longer be a planet reformatory to be the new home of the race of Earthlings, complete with a new decor and a new physical appearance. Much will happen if there is no a direct intervention in the coming weeks. But you can be sure there will not be mass extinction. Be prepared for everything that was homeopathically said to you friends these many months of exchanging information. Not much more to say about the events since important variables are not set properly, to have a more detailed overall picture about your election of regional leaders, that will not change anything in the schedules provided by the group that controls your economy and your society. It will not make the slightest difference who is symbolically in charge during the execution of ongoing plans. Follow a few simple rules. Avoid lengthy exposure to the sun when there are major issues going on. Avoid staying in large urban centers where telecommunication, water, or power is interrupted. Avoid any sorting center of your governments. Avoid direct confrontation with armed personnel of your governments. Try to move away from regions that begin to show signs of instability of any kind. Have an exit route previously studied and drawn. Keep a minimum of food and water to keep your family for days or months outside the major centers. Do not lose hope, try to help those who are aimlessly. Listen in the sky, we will be circulating, and we may contact you at any time. If we have your reference, you may be called by the name you gave to us. Do not ask for dates, live one day after the other and be perceptive enough to sense and feel the events. Understand that if you were informed of all the details, you would not have how to show your real capacity of perception. It would be like taking a test, getting from another person all the answers in advance. Keep your perception on alert. You will be proud of that will get to realize alone. Stay in tune with the planet, it will also help you friends expanding the mental capacity of all who are directed to these changes. I'll be on a mission off planet but will return in a few days. CB asked for an emergency these answers and I was soon to meet with him before leaving. As you say in your stories, may the force be with you.